Oh yeah, baby. It's Friday, November, um, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, I guess. November 8th. Not a day that will live in infamy like December 7th or whatever, or 9/11. Just a forgotten day, about 3 days or 2.5 days after the election, Tuesday, November 5th. An election that was stolen. You guys, the deep state goes both ways. How did 81 million people vote for Joe Biden in 2020? And then suddenly there's only 66 or 67 million. Not even 70 million, you guys, so far in the counting. Trump got he got about the same as 2020. Or he might get slightly more. I'm not sure. He's up to like 74 million right now, which is about what he got, back in 2020. But of course, as we know, Scranton Joe got 81 million. Now, we all said that was bullshit. There's no way Scranton Joey and Little Hunter, his sonny boy, got 81 million, especially when you consider how horrible his VP pick was, Kamala. But, COVID, a lot of us are like, well, COVID, a lot of people were lazy and mailing in votes, and Trump, took the blame for when COVID hit on March 15, 2020. I think it was March 15th. One day, I remember, I'll never forget this, you guys. The economy was good in early March and February. I hate that word, February, or just Feb. The economy was great. The whole time Trump was president. Gasoline prices were low. And then COVID hit with Fauci. Remember all that? I was an Uber driver, and I think it was March 14 or 15, 2020. I couldn't do Uber anymore. I had to wear a mask. Everyone was putting on masks. And a lot of us were like, this is bullshit. We don't even know if there is a COVID. We'll show us a petri dish of this shit. And then eventually, of course, they did. And I guess there was COVID. A lot of people said, oh, they're just using the flu or the common cold or, one of those rhinovirus and calling it COVID. But there really was a COVID, you guys. I'm not kidding. I, Clark the Shark, am a hardcore right-winger, Trumper. Not really, but compared to, the average person, I guess. I'm a conservative Republican or, independent, pragmatic, right-leaner type. I'm a Taurus, April 27, you guys. So, I'm going to be... I don't think right-wingers are right. We're actually left, and left-wingers are right. Liberals are like National Socialists, like Hitler or something. They're for eugenics, killing the unborn. They're actually the right-wingers, not us. We're like socialists on the right, Then they're like either communist or like Nazi or something. They're just far right. I don't know why they call them left. They're not left, you guys. But anyway, never mind that. I'm talking about the Trump economy before COVID, before March 15, 2020. The perception anyway, or the belief today as then, is that the economy was good, and then the Chinese Democrats and Fauci came along and ruined it all. And so voters have never forgotten and never forgiven. They remember the low gas, low groceries. Your rent was lower. Back then, rent was still high, you guys. Come on, in 2020. I got kicked out of my apartment long before COVID. And our rent was like $1,900 a month in 2018, I think we were out of there. I lived 3 months for free. I said, oh, you're kicking me out? Okay, I'm just going to... Longer than that. I lived like 6 months where I lived at the Sycamore Ridge Apartments in Vista I lived there. It was a long time. The lady put a thing on my door, and then I never paid again. She said, "We're asking you to leave," for no reason. They never gave us an official reason. And so me and my wife are like, "What is this?" And then we just never paid again. And we were there for like 8-9 months rent free. I mean, even longer than that. I mean, she put this thing on my door in, I think, March of 2018. And then me and my wife lived there all the way till March of 2019 or so. It was a long ass time. I never paid rent again to this building. And then they eventually took me to court and all this stuff. And I said, I ain't going to pay you guys. And I know, how eviction works. It's going to take you 3 months just to start the process, then another 3 months, then another 6 months to sue me and all that. And even then, I could drag this out another 3 months or so until the sheriffs come and throw me out. But anyway, I'm not talking about high rent or any of that, you guys. And by the way, Trump isn't going to cut the rent, you guys. He's not. He might cut groceries because gasoline, petrol, as they call it in, Australia and in the UK, petrol, you guys, gasoline will be cheaper with Trump. He'll be buddies with the Saudis and Dubai and all that. And even some crypto guys in Malta might be happy having Trump, even though, they're a bunch of fucking sellouts and they're letting Ukraine twist in the wind. But we're not going to talk about any of that right now. I'm talking about a stolen election, you guys. You Democrats are victims this time. Much like 2020, the way GOP and Trump were victims, and the 81 million votes, many of which don't exist. 20,000 mules, 2,000 mules. Remember the Dinesh D'Souza movie? Back then in 2020, there was no voter ID in a lot of places, and the ballot, you could just print a new ballot, no one could tell. There weren't good safeguards during COVID. You could just mail in 8 absentee votes or mail-in votes, and no one would know. There'd be no way to tell, and people were doing it. Never mind the fact that the counting of the votes was probably rigged for Scranton Joe to win. And then we've seen other rigs, 1960, Kennedy versus Nixon, where Nixon won, and then they stole I forget if it was Chicago or Ohio or something, Daley, these crooked Dems back east or in the Rust Belt. And then, of course, 2000, where the Supreme Court stepped in and stopped the counting for Al Gore, who might have won. I don't think he would have. I think Bush would have won anyway. They kept on counting the votes, and Bush won anyway, you guys. So anyone like David Pacman or Cenk Uygur that tells you Gore was going to win and is full of shit. And then look at the way you win. What, by recounting like Dino Rossi in Washington? I mean, that's a cheesy, cheap way to win. Voters know it. And if the Democrats would have won 2000 like that, coming from behind, it would have pissed the voters off. And Gore would have been a one-termer, and they would have elected some GOP, maybe George W. Bush in 2004. But we're not talking about that either. And who knows? These Obama elections look weird now. 2008 and 2012, where Obama just blew out McCain and Romney. I mean, and look at how bad Obama was in his first term. I mean, his economy sucked. He had a red wave midterm in 2010. 2012 looks weird now. I don't know how Obama won that. And then I don't know how Trump won 2016 against Hillary. That doesn't make any sense. You would think Hillary was way ahead in all the fake polls. Most people are stupid. They listen to the polls and they do whatever the polls say. And, you know how Americans are. The best. Well, who was it? Einstein said, just take a look at the average voter and you'll see why democracy is bad and it doesn't work, right here on the Clark the Shit Show. Is it true or is it true? Am I right or am I right? But now we have 2024, last Tuesday, just 3 days ago. And mysteriously, the Democrats went from 81 million votes for Scranton Joe down to 66 million. It's literally a 15 million vote drop, you guys. And believe you me, I'm Clark the Shark. I am no fan of the Democrats. I want them to lose. I hate them. I don't like the high taxes, high regulations, high rent, high groceries, high gasoline. Everything goes high when Democrats win, you guys. I'm like one of those guys in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, blue collar, hard working, working class hero, working stiff, who would have, if I was in Michigan, I would have voted Trump. I'm in California. It's pointless to vote Republican out here. They have like a 1 million lead over the GOP in California. But it's funny, this year in 2024, California went red in a bunch of places. So, yeah, man, it really went red here. And 45% of the people here voted Trump. So they have something to think about now in California. It's getting closer here now. Gavin Newsom needs to be concerned because this new Trump admin won't be like the one in 2016, 2017. Trump's not going to keep like James Comey types, and he's not going to keep around the people from the Biden era. He's going to be firing them and starting with a clean slate, if you know what I mean, right here on the Clark the Shit Show. 1-800-449-8255, the Sharkalama Ding Dong. Sharkadoodle-doo, the all-knowing, all-seeing, Swami, genius, clairvoyant, he who talks to spirits, Clark the Shark. And I'm telling you right now, you guys, if the Democrats don't get this together in 2028, they're going to lose again, and they're going to have the same 67 million voters. GOP has figured out early voting, you guys, and mail-in voting, and they might have cheated. Many of them voted twice, 3 times, 4 times. They weren't going to take it lying down this time, you guys. And then, of course, the Hispanics, blacks, the shitty economy, you guys, had them voting for Trump. And a lot of them are Christian, hardworking people. Like it or not, it's true, especially Hispanics. They're old-fashioned. They got kids. They're good people. I don't really like a lot of people because they have agendas and they don't like white people. They don't like me. They want lower prices in the swimming pool world, plumbing and all that. And then Sharky ends up getting the shaft, but they may be right. Because even I, too, at times, Clark the Shark, will do a filter for free or a swimming pool a month free just to get your business or just to be a nice guy, or I'll loan you money and be a big sucker, a big softy, a pushover. Not to be your friend, but because I'm a friend of God. And sometimes I'll just do the right thing. You know me, Shark. I get in a foul mood sometimes and get bitter and then try to get my revenge, if you know what I mean. And sometimes it's not me that gets it. It's the good Lord above, who I'm not even sure if I believe in God, you guys. But after Tuesday, November 5th, the other day, I believe I do, because he stepped in, when Trump got shot. That looked weird. Twice they tried to shoot Trump, maybe 3 times. And he survived every one. And then he survived all the shit the Democrats do to him with Letitia, what's her name, in New York, in Atlanta, the phony document thing, the phony Atlanta election shit, the fake elector, bogus crap. And now Trump's going to have more power, people, and he's going to be a different Trump this time. He may come after Scranton Joe and Kamala and put you guys in orange suits, and he may come up with creative ways like I'm going to bill you guys for every the damage the invasion people have done to the country right here on the Clark the Shit Show. And we're going to make Scranton Joe pay $250,000 a day until the debt is paid to the people, Kamala, if you know what I mean, right here on the Clark the Shit Show. Am I right or am I right? You Democrats have something to worry about now, because now Rudy Giuliani is going to be head of the FBI. Yeah, you guys, shit like that. You're going to have people like Hannity being Secretary of the Interior or something, or Dude, I'm not kidding. This new Trump admin that's coming is going to be scary. So scary that even a YouTuber like me, myself, and I, Clark the Shark, will be scared because I'm not really completely a committed right winger here. I'm kind of a loving, tender, kind, middle independent guy or something. I'm not a Democrat. I know that. Democrats are mean and they're evil. They're spiteful. They're always in a bad mood. They want drama, fights, chaos. And while they stand in the corner laughing at the people in the throes of chaos, if you will, Democrats are always conveniently not in the chaos, or sometimes often they are, if you know what I mean, right here on the Clark the Shit Show. But yeah, this Trump admin will be different. And a musician like me, I Clark the Shark from the Greenhouse Effect, I got kind of risque lyrics in my songs. And just like Frank Zappa, I'm leery about government, I don't know, you guys. I'm concerned, just like David Pacman, just like Cenk Uygur, just like Democrats are about censorship. I know the right Christian scene is not wild about my songs. Ben is dead, white, black, she's a bitch, and then you live, and all that, dude. I got. Am I gonna have to take all my music down like Frank Zappa would go before Congress and testify? Maybe I will or won't, or dude, I'm kind of an independent guy here. I lean right, but, I also recognize injustice. And like I tried to say in a previous video, I don't always like Trump's big mouth, the way he puts people down. You can feel and see the former Democrat coming out in him when he does that. And the voters are always tepid. Like a lot of people say to me, Clark the Shark, we don't like the way you are. You're just a bomb thrower. You'll say what's on your mind. You shoot from the hip. You don't give a shit what anyone thinks. You, Clark the Shark, or that's why you're not popular in California. Popular with music on the internet, but not. I don't have a lot of friends or following locally around me, but secretly maybe I do or don't. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, I think the election was stolen Tuesday. I do. It just looks weird that so many Democrats didn't show up to vote. And if you look at the percentages, the Democrat energy looks really low for Tuesday, November 5th, just the other day, 2 days ago. And the Republican energy, of course, was on fire. They were early voting. They were voting early and often, if you know what I mean. Trump told them to vote 3-4 times, and they did. And right now, David Pacman and Cenk Uygur and all you guys on the left, you don't know what happened to you. Your election got stolen. But because of January 6th, and now you're the bigger man, aren't you? And you guys won't riot. You won't protest. You won't be out in the streets. Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. It's weird, you guys. Now you are inoculated, or maybe the GOP's inoculated. Somebody's inoculated against rioting and shit. So, it's weird, you guys. Very weird. Was it really stolen? I don't know. It just seems that way to me. Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. I probably wasn't. I don't know. Maybe the people just fed up with this economy. I don't know, you guys. But I do know this. I know that, dude, there's a homeless guy walking around me now. I turned off my light. But he doesn't know, that homeless guy, that he's a victim of Joe Biden. He should have an apartment right now that's $750, $650 and be living alone. A white dude doing drugs all alone in their apartment. But those days are gone. Now 9 people from Poland or somewhere, Italy, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, Central America, Colombia, Venezuela, they have the apartment, and it's not $950 anymore, $850, $750. Now the apartment's $3,500 a month. And that's why there's so many homeless white people. And now, you guys are not going to believe this. Now there's homeless Hispanic people. Some of them are getting kicked out now. Of course, there's homeless black people. Come on, you guys, you know that. But what's going to happen is people will vote more Republican. I don't think Republicans are going to cut the rent, you guys. I don't think they give a shit about that. They like high rent just like the Democrats do. The rent thing at apartments is a big crisis that we need to figure it out. I don't think Trump is going to do anything about high rent. And I think high rent will eventually be the undoing of Trump. He'll get blamed for it, even though it existed long before him, during Biden and during Trump's first term and during Obama, you guys. You bring in this many people, you're going to have high rent. It's just inevitable. Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. But I'm going to tell you, David Pac-Man, Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, you guys are like my brothers in arms. I may be an independent or lean right Republican, or I might even be a hardcore narcissist, nihilist, maniac conservative or pragmatic, like Michael Weiner or something, or Mark Levin, you know, to the right of Hannity, or maybe to the left, or just like him. But Cenk Uygur, Anna, and David Pac-Man, and you other liberals on YouTube, your election was stolen Tuesday, November 5th, and there's nothing you can do. You can't bitch about it. You can't riot about it. You want to look bigger than January 6th, be the bigger man, take the high road. You're better than that. At your peril, you guys. If you don't riot, you guys, listen. My light went out again, you guys. If you guys don't take to the streets, Democrats, if you're worried about January 6th and being compared to that was the plan all along. That's why those guys on January 6th did that. They're shutting down your riots because they knew that the media would come after them, which means the media is coming after all people who protest. And some people will say, well, Shark, there's a right way and a wrong way. Take to the streets and march around with signs. I say there's only one way, dude, and that's the January 6th way. And the way the Democrats did in 2020 when they burnt shit down, baby. Yeah, they burnt the whole shit house down during George Floyd and all that. It looks wrong. It looks right. Who knows what it looks? It just is what it is. It's like a volcano. It's, it's like a pimple. It happens. What can you do? But honestly, you guys, if your election was really stolen, David Pac-Man, Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, the other day, November 5th, 2024, and you're just going to sit there and not protest, not even march with signs, Antifa's not going to go ape shit. You guys are stupid then. You're fucking dumb. You're worried about being compared to January 6th. That was the plan to shut you down. Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. Am I right or am I right? You know, the Republicans are really smart and crafty. You liberals think we're dumb, but we think long view. It's kind of like Green Day. That's right, you guys. You guys think short term and you think you're so smart, you're geniuses, but your high taxes don't work, your high rent don't work, your high inflationary goods and items and commodities don't work, your high gasoline don't work. You think all the people are going to lockstep for the better common good, the better world, because things are more expensive. We're all going to pay the price to make it all better. We won't, you guys. Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. Am I right or am I right? David Pac-Man, Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian. I love the new nose, Anna, by the way. You're cute, you're beautiful and pretty, but it's sad that you're so unhappy. A miserable left-wing human being, you guys. Think it's okay to kill the unborn. You guys don't want a conversation about this. You're just like, my body, my choice. It's someone else's body where the baby is, you guys. I'm sorry, I don't even go back and forth on that one. Even if someone's raped or something, I'm just like, maybe incest and threat to the mother's life. But like, you know how many millions of people right now, the past 3,000 years, have been walking around because someone raped someone? If you went up to them and said, dude, what do you think of abortion? They'd be like, well, dude, my mom got raped by some dude and now I'm here. I mean, yes, seriously, you guys may think I'm stupid or insane or I live in my own little world or I'm dumb, but think, Democrat, think. longer. Think for 10 more seconds. You guys got to start thinking. You just got your election stolen because you guys don't think. And you guys got to come up with better policies. You got to be kind of like Republican light, low taxes, like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was all that garbage, pro-choice, pro-gay, but then he governed like a Republican, low taxes or something, or maybe he just didn't do anything with the taxes, or maybe he did raise taxes, but he looked like a normal dude. Scranton Joe didn't look normal, neither did Barack. Obamacare is a disaster. It is. A lot of Obama's policies have come home to roost and they suck and voters hate them. Just like Scranton Joe with the 30 million people clogged in here, making our rent high, making everything high. You guys need to think about your policies. David Pacman, quit calling the guy the Orange Hitler. Cenk Uygur, quit calling people a fascist. Anna Kasparian, TYT. You guys at all these liberal left-wing channels, quit calling people names and start coming up with ideas like we're going to cut this, we're going to cut that. Look like you're cutting even if you aren't. Pretend to cut. Do you see? Don't say we're going to raise. If you say we're going to raise taxes in even the slightest nuance, marginal way, voters don't like that because voters feel like everything's already too expensive. High gas, high rent. They don't want more taxes, even if it's for the betterment, for the better good of the people. You Democrats won't get off this belief. You, Bernie Sanders, all of you, Pelosi, Adam Schiff, Gavin Newsom, Kamala, you guys have got to learn people want lower prices. They want less inflation, not more. Right here on the Clark the Shit Show. You guys, I talk to you all the time, and you don't think. I talk to my wife's family. And if you're just voting for Trump because you're Christian, or you're voting Republican because, you go to church, God bless you. I think it's great, dude. I'm a monotheist. I believe in God. I want to believe in Christ and all that stuff, conquering shit. But when you break it down, you guys, I'm just a monotheist, deist. And you got to be more like that. Get off your Christ thing, man, Republican, and start looking at arithmetic, mathematic, and you liberals too, you guys. There's liberal Christians and liberal secular middle grounders and liberal, like libertarian types. You guys have got to start looking at the math. The voters want low taxes. The voters want low gasoline. The voters want low inflation. They want milk to be cheaper, butter, toast, bread. You guys, dude, Campbell's Soup, Subway, Taco Bell, McDonald's, Ralph's, Vaughn's, Albertsons, Food for Less, Winco. The voters want cheaper shit, cheaper items, cheaper commodities, you guys. On the left have got to figure this out. You can't have all that Obamacare shit. We're cradle to grave. The government's paying for everything, you guys. And then expect to have no inflation. And you guys have got to listen. David Pacman, quit calling people fascist and Hitler and start coming up with ideas. Cenk Uygur, Anna, I don't know what the answer is on the left, you guys. But calling people orange, fascist, isn't the way. The voters, it might work with some voters, but not all. You know what Lincoln said, you guys? You can fool some of the people, but you can't fool Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255. The Shark-a-lama ding-dong, the Shark-a-doodle-doo. The fabulous shark, faster than Eminem, Eazy-E, Hannity, Dr. Dre, Hush Bimbo, Michael Weiner, Mark Levin, the great one, or that other great one, Wayne Gretzky. It doesn't matter, you guys. Clark the Shark's bigger, better, faster, cleaner delivery. And it's because I live in my own little world. I'm a narcissist, a nihilist, and proud of it, you guys. An independent, pragmatic thinker. And I'm telling you, Democrats right now, lower taxes are better. Be like Bill Clinton. Don't be like Barack Obama. Be like, don't be like Roosevelt, you guys. And don't be like Woodrow Wilson. Be like Grover Cleveland. Try to govern from the center. If you're going to be a socialist left-wing Democrat, Don't be like LBJ, the Great Society. That doesn't work. Certainly don't be like Jimmy Carter. None of these things work, you guys. They wreck the economy. They destroy gasoline. They destroy everything, you guys. Because when Republicans come into power now, January 20, they're going to have low gas, low inflation, affordable shit. And voters are going to like that, Democrats. I'm sorry to tell you. I don't know how they're going to tackle this high rent thing. And eventually, Democrats have a window. They have an in, if you will. And they're going to start bitching about high rent and blaming it on Trump, and it's going to work. This will be the downfall of the Republicans in the midterms, November 2026, is high rent. It is the issue Democrats are going to run with, even though Democrats themselves didn't do anything about it for many years, and they appeared to like it too. They like high rent so they can tax it. 9 people living together, all voting Democrat. They all talk socially, just like being at Starbucks, and they all go and run and vote left. But guess what? There's always that lone wolf, that stallion amongst the 9 people living together who thinks for himself, and he won't go vote like the rest. And we found that out in a big, bad way, November 5, 2024, you guys. There were millions of them. I'm in shock. I can't believe Trump won, and I don't think he did. I think the election was stolen. 81 million people just disappeared. 15 million Democrat voters for Joe Biden vanished in a heartbeat overnight. Weird, you guys. It just doesn't look natural. And Trump won. The popular vote. Who knows? Maybe just the economy's so shitty people couldn't take it anymore, and you think maybe they can't take high $6 gasoline and, milk that costs $8 a gallon. They can't take it anymore. Maybe they really did vote for Trump, but I don't think so. The people aren't that smart, you guys. There's only a few in the very small, tiny minutia, if you will, of people who think like geniuses, or think on another level. Michael Weiner is one like that. And there, Clark the Shark is one, certainly an outlier. There's nobody like me. But there are people like that, though, everywhere. Some of them just keep to themselves and they don't announce it. They don't want people to think they're weird or they live in their own little world. They want to connect with people. Go be that way. See where it gets you right here on the Clark the Shit Show, 1-800-449-8255. But I'm telling you right now, David Pacman, Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, where do 81 million votes go in one election and turn into 66 million? You guys got to think here. David Pacman, I'm talking to you, YouTuber, or all you other Democrat YouTubers. Where do 81 million voters go in one election? You would think instead of 81 million, it might be 75 million. 6 million would have gone, but it's not that. It's like 17 million or something, or 15 million are gone, you guys. The math looks fuzzy. It just looks weird, man, right here on the Clark the Shit Show. Am I right or am I right? The election was rigged. The voting machines were flipping votes. People were voting 3-4 times, mailing in their neighbor's mail-in ballot. The election was fixed, you guys, for and by the Republicans, not the Democrats. But it's going to take you 4 or 5 years to figure it out, just like 2020. The deep state runs everything, you guys. It's this other government, shadow government, that isn't ran by Trump, Biden, Obama, Clinton, George W. Bush, Jimmy Carter, Reagan, Nixon, or any of those. It's this other government that runs everything, and it's called the Sharkulation, and it's all ran by yours truly, the only man in the universe who could run it, and that's a narcissist nihilist who lives in his own little world. That's Clark the Shark. Elon Musk, who recently became a monotheist, once said, we could all be living in the brain of an alien, a little tiny microscopic, smaller than a cell. A whole universe, you guys, could fit inside all of our brains many times over, in fact. And this could all be a sharkulation. That's what Elon Musk called it. He didn't say simulation. And Elon Musk actually said, I think we're all living in the mind of Clark the Shark. And we are, you guys. And I just rigged the election against you socialists. You will obey. You will obey. Clark the Shark, 1-800-449-8255, Shark Lima Ding Dong, Sharkadoodle Doo, the fabulous Dr. Shark, PhD. You're not evil enough. You're the Diet Coke of evil. Mini me. But Mini Sharky says, you're plenty evil. Are you evil? Yes, you are. You are man. And I'm out, baby. Peace.